Welcome to Open Mind Industries Podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, relax, and unleash your mind. Hey guys, welcome to The Mind Unleashed, episode 22, I believe, of The Mind Unleashed. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, it's been a bit. I've been working and studying SolidWorks and working on a few things. Getting the Vinci 1.0 back up and running from XYZ Printing. I'll talk about that. This is going to be more of a, I don't know what this podcast is going to be. It's going to be more of a, just me shooting the shit about certain things. Kind of just wanting to blab and just kind of have some fun. We'll see where she goes. But more likely, we talk about the XYZ, how the repair went with that, what are my options with XYZ, getting back with the Robo and working on some of that, working on some CAD, and what else? Oh, and maybe a fun tip about YouTube. What happened to me on YouTube was pretty funny. I was playing some GTA, and I'll talk about that. And that's kind of weird why that happened. But I'll talk about it. Anyway, as we always do, let's give a few shout out to my supporters. First one is going to be Lifty Ride Sharing App. Use our code TMUP for $15 off your first 3 rides. Yeah, so it's $5 per ride, so $15 off altogether. Use our code TMUP. If you want to become a driver also, please punch in our code. It helps us out, and we'll help you out with a driver bonus. You will get a nice driver bonus there. So definitely sign up for Lyft if you're looking to make some money, and it's the holidays, trying to pay that stuff off. And I wish you guys all the best. Also, please check out Dine Art Studios. Dine Art Studios is based here in Orlando, Florida also. Weiss does any wedding photography, corporate events. He does video photography for any big kind of gigs you guys want to get professionally done. Use our code OMI. You'll get 5% off when you book with him. He's offering some pretty nice packages, but when you book with him, use OMI, and he should give you 5% off when you book your next project with him. Also, check out Daniel Wieselberg. Daniel Wieselberg runs Dine Art Studios here in Orlando, Florida also. He does professional drone shooting. He's drone certified. So if you're looking to get some really good photography for anything kind of special event or maybe like a small kind of gig thing you're doing, definitely check him out. He also does professional photography, headshots, stuff like that for any actor here in Orlando, or somebody has a graduation coming up, or what have you. Use our code OMI and you'll get 5% off when you book your next project with him. Alrighty, my jaw hurts there just from blabbing. Welcome to the episode 22 of The Mind Unleashed. It has been a fun one, crazy one. Just getting the house signed off on, and we'll be moving from this area soon. So if you guys hear some banging and booming, they just got a little construction going on for one of the apartments here that is getting worked on. Apparently the floorboards to the little balcony got all eaten up by termites, stuff like that. Not our place, but the one next door to us, so they're kind of in front of my window making some noise. So I apologize for that. Anyway, what's going on this week? Well, the Vinci 1.0 is finally up and running. The Vinci XYZ Printing really helped me out. Jen, the shout out to her over at customer support, did help me out. What happened is the J9 or J4, it's a little fuse that blew again, which controls the extruder, and it's a little fuse. Now, what my idea is the second board I've had it do to. I had to rewire the extruder to get that back in. So literally, they're like, "Hey, send us your results. So try all these tips and tricks." So I did. I literally used the multimeter that's sitting above me. You'll probably see that in the video. Use the multimeter, check that out. It should be reading about, I want to say 12 volts, guys. So if anybody's having this issue with it, definitely check that first. Check your wiring harness, stuff like that. The Vinci 1.0, my gripe with it is it's a good printer. A bit oversized for what it is. It's DRM, but there is a way to get around that. There's a flash chip for the chips. And Da Vinci knows we're using them. The XYZ knows we're using them. For anybody who's really using them, we can't keep spending $20, $30 on their filament. It's garbage. You're getting worse results with their filament. And I've spoken about this many times, and I've told XYZ, I'm like, your filament is shit. That's why I use Hatchbox, or I use something that I've been, studying or looking at, R&D myself. So that's why we do that. But a good printer nevertheless, but it does. Mine has broken down and gotten lost, and literally when the first time it broke down, it was a short in a wiring harness up for the X motor. Let's pray that doesn't happen ever again. I'm hoping not, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, got the board back. I want to say about big Monday. Didn't think it was gonna be an all-day fucking job. Well, it was. I literally got the board in, started putting all the wires back in, which is pretty much plug and play. You plug everything back in. A simplistic board, a very big board. Just the way she's designed, she's an Arduino, stuff like that. Not like the the ramp board from Robo. It's a little bit smaller, However, it does get hot, and I ended up sticking a cooler fan underneath that. I gotta get a bigger cooler fan to cool down the motherboard on that, because that one doesn't like to get hot either. So once I got the DaVinci 1.0, all plugged in and play, took some videos, put that on Instagram, and I was like, okay, step one, and the hardest freaking part that I do not like, the DaVinci's starting to use, and I don't mind ribbon cables, I don't mind them, but it's a pain in the fucking ass, and they don't really short out that much, and I guess that's why people use them a lot. Back in the 80s, you had your IBMs, your 1990s, you had your ribbon cables for your printers, stuff like that. And that's a good reason, because they're very flexible and they barely short out, stuff like that. However, XYZ is using that part for their pardon me, for the chip, the DRM chip that you have to put the cartridge in, and it reads that. So you gotta plug that back in. It took me like fucking 5 minutes just to get in. It hurt like hell. There's no room for you to sneak your fingers in and drop that cable right in. And I'm like, okay, now that that's finally in, let me light the board up to see if everything functions. Everything functioned, lights turned on, everything, fan kicked in, everything vroom, kicked in. I said, shit, man, let me spin this baby back around and let's see if she heats up. So, went to go do that. Fucking nothing. It idled at about 23C. And I'm like, oh boy. Oh shit. So, what are my options? So pretty much what I did, I was like, alright, let me make sure everything's connected back there really good. So I checked that. Everything was good. Knowing the board's been repaired, I'm like, okay, that can't be the issue anymore. Then I had a thought. I felt the cable of where I wired my, when I first had this issue, what I did is I snipped the cables and ran a new connector and stuff like that, checked that. Over time, apparently, when I put that together, sorry, don't know why I have the cough for some reason. Over time, I pretty much, I wired that up, put them together. I knew there had to be maybe a short there or something like that, or just something like that. So I checked that real quick, and I ran my blower. I have a heat gun that I ran underneath that, and I just checked the thermistor, everything functioned fine. Ran that. I was like, okay, well, the thermistor's working, the board's reading the heat, stuff like that. We're already at like 80C, so something's definitely up. The minute I said, all right. Pardon me for the coughing fit for some reason. So I ran all that, checked that, then I was like, okay, let me snip the wire. So I felt that there was something came loose in my wiring, so I had to go back there and redo that, super glue everything, reheat shrink, everything like that. Boom, started working immediately. I was like, oh, thank God. By the time that was all said and done, rewiring, getting all this new stuff, cables clipped, the extruder cleaned. My extruder actually had a clog too, so the problem when the extruder did die, I had to the board sorted out. And the reason why the board sorted out, here's my theory, is that I was doing a GoPro video, like a time lapse, with the LED strip lights that they have installed in here, so I can, the video got to test, color and brightness. Left that on, didn't turn the power saver light. So I'm guessing it was pulling too many watts of heat, and it was kind of idle the heat and stuff like that, and it's got idle bed, stuff like that. The power supply can't do that, and that's when the fuse blew, and there's no way to reset the fuse or anything like that, so it was like, ah, shit. I was like, crap. Anyway, so I won't be doing that anymore. I'm probably going to get some external lighting to put in there so I can do some, GoPro video for you guys, stuff like that. But once I get all the wiring in, it was about 8 o'clock, everything started functioning again. I started printing something I wanted to print, and the bed was kind of out of sync, but I kind of leveled her in, and then kind of, So let me show you what I printed with the first time. And this is my own. I didn't design the triangle. I did not design this. This is on Thingiverse. Oh, someone's at the door. Didn't design the triangle. Some gentleman designed it. I retook out his text though, because the text that he had originally was garbage. But you can find this file on Thingiverse under his file. It's going to be Cyberdyne Systems. And I pretty much put in a new plate, name, text, everything like that. And you can see how it came out. So the printer, you know, it was running fine. It just that the bed was not level enough, and you can see right back here it wasn't level enough. So this is ABS plastic. It's got a little bit of glue on there. So the next day I got up, went to bed, checked everything out. I'm like, shit. Sorry for my coughing for some reason. It's a tickle on my throat. So anyway, got up, checked everything, and I was like, oh shit, alright. How do I level the bed again? Leveling the Vinci 1.0 bed is a fucking pain in the ass. I love it because you can just Robo, I kind of hate it because now it's automated, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to make sure my rods are even. So when the thing hits, when everything, you know, harness, everything, you know, goes down, and the thing goes down, everything matches up, everything's hitting the right switches, stuff like that. It takes a bit to get this baby ironed out, and I thought, you know, I don't have to touch this thing for a couple months, but it's tweaky, so spent another fucking couple hours doing that, getting it finally tweaked in beautifully, and now it sticks to the bed beautifully. And the best way to do that is going to be, as Charles Huckabee, I'll put a video link to the description if you have the 1.0 or whatever. Most people don't have the Vinci 1.0. I mean, most people don't. But what you do is you let the printer run. As it's beginning to ready the print, it levels, puts the bed where it needs to go, put the extruder where you turn the printer off. Okay. Before you turn the printer back on, bring your extruder back to where it needs to go to home base so it can hit the sensor, and the printer will just stay there. So now you know where your extruder needs to be. From there, you adjust each one of your levelers, and then you can use a piece of paper, or you can just eyeball it. What I pretty much did is I kind of eyeballed it. I use the paper technique, but I don't really like the paper technique. I usually run a calibration print from Thingiverse, and usually try to get it as tight as possible. From there, when you see where it prints, you can see how hard it's pushing in. But now I have that all figured out, and that's a pain in the ass to get the back end of the bed, because you can get the front looking good, the sides looking good, but there's no screws in the back, so you kind of need to even out your side screws a little bit. Anyway, so now that that was all said and done, I laid down some glue. I have a little glue adhesion here. What it pretty much is just glue, 5 glue sticks and some water, and I take a paintbrush and I just kind of wave that over the bed. Stuck to the bed really, really good. And this was my own plate that I made for myself, and it's going to be going in my little collection for Terminator stuff. Probably going to paint her up. It is ABS plastic. Printed out about 50% infill. Loving it. Only one part here that I kind of effed up on. It's 2008 to 2017. The 1 and the 7 came out kind of weird, but other than that, I mean, it's really small details. So if you guys are getting into, lettering, make sure you reuse them up a little bit. Make sure you don't make them small either. The smaller your print, it's going to be the shittier it's going to come out. You got to remember, your printer, even if it's running at the lowest fucking setting, is not going to like that. I keep telling people that when I started getting into text, because people are like, you can need a keychain. I'm like, okay. And I fucked around with it. I made print like that, and the printer and the extruder does not like that. It prints so fast, guys. So remember, if you're going to do it, make sure it's wide enough, and make sure, like right here it says no fate right there, and I knew how to put that in, and I pretty much extrude my lettering. So if you're going to get into that, make sure you're extruding your lettering. You can push it in, just make sure it's wide enough, make sure the printer has time to make sure it's going to be able to close it. The reason why I put this at 50% infill is because I knew the lettering and stuff like that, and so be very careful when you're doing lettering, and it looks cool on the program. It does, but however, when you get into the modeling, the 3D printing program, it's going to go, that's kind of small. You got to remember, that head's moving about 30 millimeters a second. It's going to fuck something up. So just be wary of that if you're getting into, just doing keychains and stuff like that for your hobby and stuff like that. You're just either extruding or you're making your letters wide enough. That's one tip I'd like to give to everybody, because I've dealt with it quite a bit, and that's what I kind of do for my shit. But it came out really good. I'm probably going to paint it or something like that. Maybe just leave it like it is, put it in the case. next to all my other Cyberdyne stuff. But yes, I just sort of showed XYZ printing what the printer did. They were pretty happy. My friends loved it. They're like, "Oh, cool! You finally made yourself one." Tried doing it on the Robo at a PLA, and I had a couple issues. And I'm like, "Damn!" Still trying to figure out what's going on with the PLA. But I was able to get some NinjaFlex stuff done for a colleague from work. She has been begging me and begging me and begging me to work on some stuff for her. And this is just pretty much a simple, about 100% in fill. This is a Cheetah from NinjaFlex. It's very flexible. This will be going over her crutch handle or cane handle. And I'm going to cut around it with a X-Acto knife and then kind of get this to her for now until we can look at the handle more and look at the grip more. The grip is quite fucking weird how it's designed. The company that designed it, they don't really think it's just hard rubber, and she's got severe arthritis, so there's nothing to absorb the shock. So when her cane goes down, you got to remember when you're wearing a crutch, it travels through your whole entire hand, your arm, everything, and it hurts your hand. I mean, you got to remember, some of you when you hit I'm only 31. I have arthritis in my toes. I have arthritis in my knee from weightlifting and stuff like that. Arthritis does not. It does not discriminate against anybody, color, age, whatever. It comes when it comes, man. My one friend's got it, and he's only 16, and he's like, man, I didn't know. I'm like, that's arthritis, bro. That's because he played a lot of sports, and he got hit and cracked and punched, and it's just your bones going, hey, guess what? Guess who's here now? So, yeah, I'll be putting these on probably this week for her. But I do see her probably Sunday or Monday, whenever I get to head over to Universal to do that. And hopefully she'll have that. That will give her some relief for the time being. This stuff prints about, I want to say 30 millimeters a second, 240 C on the extruder, no heat on the bed, and the glue stick stuff that I designed or I made because I was too lazy to go out and buy Wolf Bite, which is from Airwolf. Not lazy, it's just kind of expensive, and I'm like, is that stuff really going to work? And I don't know. I mean, it looks like it works in theory, and it's a nice glue piercing, but I'm trying to get into things that we all can afford instead of going out and spending $30-40 for a canister, and we got to buy more of it, and it's like there's got to be a cheaper solution. And sadly, I like the glue stick idea because I wanted to get some of the bed pads, but I don't know how long they're going to last. I asked people on the podcast previously, or on Instagram, I was like, if anybody knows anybody who's selling these or looking to punch some business, send some my way or send me a link to their stuff so I can get a good idea of it. Nobody sent me anything, which was kind of sad. And a couple companies were like, sent me something, and they just put a like to it. They didn't send me their info or anything, like, hey, we'll only give you $5 off. You should go buy one from us or try ours, and nobody gave me an idea of what to do. So I am pretty much printing on glass, which I like, and then using glue stick. The way I recycle my stuff is I use a spray gun, and I'll spray the glue, and I'll just tap it, so it's nice and tacky, and then I'll do my print, and that forces the ABS, PLA, and NinjaFlex not to warp at all, so I don't have any warping. And that's pretty much what Wolf Bite is. Wolf Bite is pretty much, it helps you do that too. You just paint on whatever your printing area is going to be, and then you do your print. But I don't know how exactly that works, so don't hold me to it. I don't know how exactly how many prints you can use with the Wolf Bite, or if you need to lay down every print or what have you. But I think the glue stick idea is much better. It's much more cheaper. I think I bought a pack of 30 of glue sticks from Amazon for under $6 for 30 of them, and instead of paying $20, so I did get a couple add-on things to get the thing, but you can understand how cheap that is instead of, and it's reusable. I can get a couple prints from it, but I made this little concoction, like I said, with water and glue stick. Seems to be working. I'll just paint it on, and I let it sit for a couple minutes so it dries a little bit. I'll make it sure it's nice and tacky, and it works. I think I just need to adjust my recipe, which is water to glue mixture, but I think we have something there. I think it's easy to use, and it's cheap to make. I mean, everybody can use it, and you're not dealing with your tape. You're not dealing with fighting a damn print. All you need to do is heat the bed up a little bit, and it usually comes right off. When the bed's cold, it's gonna come right off for you, but it usually holds it there for a long time. But yeah, that's what I've been pretty much working on. The XYZ is running again. It's moving. It's grooving. I've been printing with the Robo. I put a fan, about a 15 mil fan, underneath the hot glued it underneath here. As you can see, I put the risers on the Robo, and it cools down the Merlin board and kind of keeps that cold. I need to get a bigger fan though, because when I was printing, the nameplates, I was getting some pretty good results with simplified 3D and stuff like that. You're able to monitor the commands and what's going on as it's printing. The problem was there is that I would get halfway through print, and all of a sudden the printer would just and stop for a minute, and then would have a brain fart, and then it would come back. And I went underneath it, I'm like, why is it? Oh, the Merlin board's a little hot. It's working a little bit too hard. I turned the bed off and stuff like that, thinking it would save some juice, but they just really didn't design, and this is the Robo, they really didn't design a good cooling system for it. It's a great, like I said, it's not worth the $700 that I paid for it, not at all. And I'm not gonna fucking, that's what I paid for this bad boy from Robo, and I'm still pissed that I paid that much. This printer right here isn't only worth to me about $500. I mean, I love that you can mod it. That's the one thing that Robo has really done well, is you're able to mod this printer to what you need, and that's my soapbox for that. It's just, the fucking Robo was overpriced, but, way overpriced, mold injection, most of it, but quality, I gotta say, quality parts, I haven't had a fucking thing that went wrong with this thing yet. The only problem is I just, I had to take off the bottom of it. My buddy Alan Lincoln, he said, hey, go with Robo. They're probably one of the best, besides MakerBot and, your XYZ, because you love your XYZ. Well, XYZ is good for, it's good for point and click. It really is. I haven't modded it, and that's what I told XYZ in the email that they sent them. I'm going to be reviewing their shit again. But I was like, be nice to me, guys. I haven't modded your shit. And I've been with you guys since day one when you fucking pretty much first launched your, I bought your first laser scanner that barely, I'm still trying to learn how it works, I wish you get, but now XYZ is going into the, bigger market, so now they're going into manufacturing market, bigger printer. I guess the biggest one I have now is $60,000, and it's for like industrial stuff like that. So they're like, yay! So I'm happy with XYZ. They're really developing. The problem with XYZ is I wish they would fucking stick with the printer, build it, design it, build it, R&D the fuck out of it, and make sure they're doing. Robo kind of sat there and did the same thing. They kind of like they brought back these bad boys now. They brought back the R1s because they're like, oh shit, no one's buying the new printers now, and that's true. I've seen it on Instagram. Hey, our printers are coming back. The old daddies are coming back. You're gonna love them, and everybody's like, yeah, we like them. We don't. Thing is, nobody wants to spend all that fucking money on the new printer because it's like that one's like $1,100. It's got a touchscreen. It's got this motherfucker. You can add a touchscreen. You can add your fucking stuff like that if you want it. The problem with these companies is they're getting more expensive. And I like where they're going with it, but it's like you need to think about your consumers. Think about who built you. But these are now going for about $500, brand new. I think on Amazon, eBay, all that shit. On Robo, I think it's like $5.99 or $4.99 or some shit. These are going for Black Friday. Everybody's like, Black Friday deals, go ahead. And don't forget, XYZ sent me the same thing the other day because I wrote them the thing back, and they're like, don't forget our Black Friday. I'm like, dude, I can barely afford to do what I'm doing now. So, like I said, yeah, if you're going to get into it, maybe go with a pro version. I still use the 1.0 just for fast prototyping, and then I'm able to take it over to the Robo to do specialty filaments, PLA, stuff like that, Ninja Flex, carbon, fiber, stuff like that. But yeah, I just be careful what you guys buy, and that's what we're here for. That's what Open Mind's here for. So I'm here to R&D this shit. I could care less what these companies are yelling at me about right now. It's like, I think about us, because the 1.0, well priced. What I hate about it is it's the bedside stuff like that, my repairs I've had to put into it. The Robo, like I said, overpriced when I bought it, but now it's well priced at like the $5.99. I think they were just trying to make a little bit more funds back, which I don't deny them, but it's like, dude, price it to where everybody can afford it, to where it's reasonably priced. The $700 deal, $800 deal that I paid for it plus shipping and shit was like, what the fuck? I don't even know. But I gotta say, the Robo has not broken on me yet. Knock on fucking wood. I literally keep it clean. I oil my rods. I gun oil on your rods too. So if you guys are going out, Remember, it is a machine, so definitely even on your XYZ or on any of your printers, make sure you're using rem oil or gun oil. So gun oil, machinist oil. Don't use goopy stuff. Use liquid, and get that on your rods every few prints. It keeps the rods nice and lubricated. Remember, it's moving back and forth on its stuff, so make sure it's taken care of. Treat it right, and she'll treat you right. Like I said, the robot I was able to tear down and stuff like that. And it allows modifications. I gotta say that I love that the robot allows modifications to where you need to do. Like I said, I put the V6 on there immediately once I got it, and it was a bitch to wire that all in and then take out the other extruder. Kind of glad I did though, because it's direct drive now, and it takes any kind of filament that I have, and I made a couple notches in it, and I love it. So that's pretty much my 3D gripe for the week and what's been going on with me. Studying SolidWorks, checking out some really, really good tutorials on how to do some stuff and learning some new stuff. So I'm really grateful to that, learning it and loving it. And then I got into some video game stuff. Let's see where we're at. Ooh, about 30-minute mark. So, video game news. I went to go play some Grand Theft Auto this week, and I got banned on, not banned, but copyright infringed on. They wouldn't post the video. They're like, "Hey, you copyright stuff." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "I put all the information you needed." So pretty much what I put, because I'm trying to start Open Mind Gaming, and I wanted to game a little bit and have some fun and just kind of do my own stream thing. It's not on Open Minds or anything yet, but we're going to be doing Open Mind Gaming soon, because I want to just kind of meet some new players and have fun and just kind of find a place where people can talk about cheats, codes, and just fun games that they want to talk about. Just a gamer community in general that just open-minded, laid back, people that are just, having fun ideas, just a fun group of players. I'm trying to find a group for anybody who can just join in and be like, "Hey man, I'm here just to stop in, say hello, how are you?" No bitching, no griping, just have fun. All around players, people just enjoy gaming, and that's not enough said. But YouTube sent me a copyright infringement email, said, "Hey, we're not going to post your video for these reasons." So pretty much what I put on, I put GTA 5, rating M. So rating, I told everybody, if you're going to log in the video, it's rated M. That's the, age. I told them strong language and graphic. So I put that in hyphens, and then I put watch at your own risk, and then I just wrote, thinking nothing of it. All of a sudden, I guess somebody put a thing saying, hey, that's pretty, no, you can't have that. So that video didn't go up. So I don't know how to make it more clean, but that's going to be my gameplay videos. If you guys see some Open Mind Gaming stuff, that's what I'll be putting in. If I find that it's a little bit too much for some, I'm going to put some warnings on there for you, because I want to be as upfront as possible. I want you to know it's going to be strong language, it's going to be strong, it's explicit, what have you. But I don't know how that was thing, because I have other videos on my own page that are pretty graphic, but I'm just like, how did that not get banned? So I'm just trying to go up front and say, hey, if I post videos, they're going to be upfront, strong language, be warned. It's up to you to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But for me to have some fun and just enjoy and talk with other gamers and meet other people who are just down for Open Mind Gaming and just have fun and stuff like that. Alright, I'm going to sign off in just a moment here. For anything Open Mind, guys, tune into openmindindustries.com. Also, if you're looking to support the podcast in any way, use our Amazon links. They'll be in the podcast. Our Amazon affiliate links. If you guys buy anything, it will direct you to something. And if you buy something through our link, it will kick me back a little bit of change, and it will help Amazon help me out, keep the podcast going. And I would highly, highly appreciate it. I would like to keep this moving and grooving. I would much appreciate that. Use our Lyft link, or talk to Daniel or Weiss, and I'll hook you up. And then if you want to donate to our Patreon at all, feel free. I tried putting a 25-cent, dropping it down to 25 cents per for the editing and stuff like that. It wouldn't let me. So what the fuck is up with that? I have no idea. Also, I'm looking for someone to design a intro for the videos. If anybody's willing to do it, I'm willing to pay a little bit, and we're probably gonna go on Fiverr or something like that. If any artist is looking to get their name out there, looking to get a little bit of free advertisement, I'll be happy to do that for you, or just hit me up, and openmindindustries@gmail.com. Sorry, I just turned into a ramble. Like I said, I didn't know what this podcast was going to be. I just wanted to kind of talk about the Vinci being back up and running, my thoughts on Black Friday, what's coming up, stuff like that. But as you guys always do, thanks for tuning in. Soon I'll be having on Moby Lee. I'm looking forward to talking with him when he's probably done with Hornet. We just got to set up a time and date. Ben Patton, I'm going to be talking with him. He just got doing a TED Talk for his kind of company. He's been building apps for these kind of things. We've been co-workers for quite a while and friends, and I'm kind of looking forward to talking with him about what he's been up to and working on. And also Maurice Hughes, who does Hope of the Future. Big Terminator 2 fan, and we're going to kind of talk about Terminator, what it meant to him and myself, why he's so obsessed with it and stuff like that. So expect more better podcasts coming, and if anybody would like to put a question into the podcast, or maybe just have it sit down with me and just kind of geek out for a little bit, you are more than welcome to do that. Hit us up on openmindindustries.com, click on our Gmail, openmindindustries@gmail.com, or if you want to hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter with your official OMI. And all of our links are on our page. Like I said, if you want to donate to Patreon, feel free at the official OMI. And then, use our Amazon affiliate link or click on any of our links. That would definitely help us out, kick us some change back. I thank you guys every week for tuning in, and I'm hoping to add some more stuff to the channel. It's taking some time. I'm by myself, usually doing all this. Mike's just got back from New York. He was doing a business trip with the company that he's working for, his day job. John's been busy with some stuff, his day job, and me working over at Universal, my day job. So we're looking to get some stuff done, and I'm really excited, just setting some SolidWorks, trying to get back into 3D CAD and learning all this harder stuff. So I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, and I want to wish you guys a happy and healthy week. I will talk to you next week. Hopefully we'll have on Moby. I'll set up a time and date with him, and we'll sit down and have a geek out moment, because looking forward to sitting down with him and talking about Hornets. How was it for him? What was it like? And what he's working on in his podcast, or not his podcast, but his YouTube stuff. So definitely check Moby Lee out. I'll probably have him on next. I'll probably give him a text in a little bit and see what's going on. But thank you guys so much. If you guys want to see some more time-lapse videos and stuff like that, I'll be doing more of those, because just editing and stuff like that. That's why I'm asking for a little bit of funds, so it pays for some of my downtime to do all this. It takes a bit for me to add stuff in. Like I said, if anybody's looking to get their name out there, if you are a digital designer, you do vector, or you do like graphics and stuff like that, hit me up. I'd like to definitely talk with you. Maybe we can work out a deal for some funds or whatever, pay you for your work. We can give you some free advertisement. That'd be wonderful. But as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry for my coughing. I have no idea what that's coming from. It's just scratching my throat. Pardon me. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and keep an open mind. Have an awesome week. See ya.